Welcome back to the Epic Storm. Bryant Cook here, and today we're playing Modern. Trashy Artifact Storm is actually what we're playing. A Bolas Citadel base Storm deck, and Andre wanted a little bit of help, so Andre went directly to theepicstorm.com/donation decks and signed up for the super tier. I worked with Andre to create the deck list that I'm about to show again. And a lot of thought went into this deck list. It was originally a Emery and Mox Amber based deck. The problem is there's so many 3-drops in this deck that's trying to win with Bolas' Citadel, so at least we got that number down to 8. And then I was looking at it and I thought, hey, Pented Prism doesn't make a lot of sense when you're a Pented Prism based deck, when you're a Bolas' Citadel based deck, because it doesn't make mana off of Citadel. And I got to thinking, like, well, Lotus Bloom accelerates into Citadel, but it's also a Black Lotus post Citadel. Mox Tantalite is pretty similar. I'm less hot on Mox Tantalite, but like no one's tried that in this deck. So why don't we try Mox Tantalite in this? So cut some of the other cards that were in the deck. Like, so without Emery, Mishra's Bauble made less sense. I added in Wishclaw Talisman to help find your trash for treasures, but also your like Aetherflux Reservoir and your discard outlets, because this deck was actually a little bit light on discard outlets, I felt like. And now between the 8 tutors for Underworld Cookbook, we have Urza Saga to get Cookbook to get this Citadel into the graveyard, and then we have our Trash for Treasures to essentially tinker the Citadel back. And then we have Welding Jar to protect Citadel from like Ancient Grudge or Force of Vigor. This deck is just so spicy. I love it. This deck is just artifact-based Storm in Modern. It's a lot like playing PO in Vintage, I feel like, just minus the whole Paradox Gold card. While Modern Legal doesn't quite work in this deck, I think that this deck is going to be a blast to play. I honestly can't wait to play this. Like, it just seems like so much fun. Yeah, so when you look at the deck, it's literally just manas, tutors, and cards that get Citadel to the graveyard. And your win condition is Aetherflux Reservoir to deal 50 damage to any target, or beating down with giant constructs. That's the main deck. If you have any questions on the main deck, feel free to post those in the comment section down below. I do try to answer all of those, and I would greatly appreciate it. And if while you're down there, if you're not subscribed already, make sure to do that. You know, it's free and easy to do. Help support us. And maybe give this video a like. Get us into that lovely YouTube algorithm. So when we go over to the sideboard, Metallic Rebuke, it's mostly for the control decks. Yeah, I don't love that it's a 3-mana card, if I'm being honest. It also stops Bolas' Citadel. I did consider playing Veil of Summer here, but then we have to splash another color. I don't know how I feel about that. It is what it is. We have a bunch of artifacts to improvise, so I think this makes sense. But this could be Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer also doesn't stop your Citadel chains if you do want to board this in. We just swap this with... Feel bad. You know what? Let's do it. Let's play Veil of Summer. So the reason I'm making this change right now is Veil of Summer not stopping the Citadel chain is just so huge. So let's move these to the board. And then we'll just play Ebreed. Sorry, I normally don't do this stuff while I'm recording, but it just makes so much sense. And we'll cut a basic island. Yeah, let's do that. That looks good to me. Probably can't play these anymore. So let's add 2 of these. Oh, I guess we have to play 1. That's a little bit up. I just not play the Blood Crypt. That doesn't seem right, though. No, this is fine. I'm just gonna do that. This mana base is I'm not gonna spend too much time. But Veil of Summer does, it works better with Citadel. It also works better with Wishclaw Talisman. So, like in Legacy, the Epic Storm Wishclaw can be used at instant speed, and then you can go grab that Veil of Summer. I think I like this. Seems like a decent innovation to me. We also have color fixing off Chromatic Sphere, Mox Tantalite. I think it's going to be fine. Whether the Storm is something that I added, I think it just makes a lot of sense that if you're not going to be able to win on a turn with your Citadel, then maybe you should tutor up Weather the Storm with Wishclaw, gain a ton of life, and then pass so that way you don't lose the game. As a 1-of against aggressive decks, I just think that the Weather makes a bunch of sense. Sphinx of the Steel Wind is something that Andre put in their sideboard. I don't know how I feel about this. I think the idea is that there's some decks that literally just can't beat Sphinx. I don't know if those are modern. Maybe something like Burn. But seems pretty sweet. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Tormod's Crypt is 0 mana artifact or reveal. You gotta love that. Same thing with Explosives. Explosives can actually be cast by tapping Saga to answer a Chalice on 0. And that's why I added it, because of Chalice of the Void mostly. Because we do have a bunch of zeros in this deck, and if your opponent plays Chalice on 0, it's going to shut off a lot of our accelerants. So we want some way to combat that, and that's why we have 3 copies of Abrade. These Galvanic Blasts are mostly just for aggro decks to slow them down. Hopefully I did a good enough just describing this deck list. It's a brew. It could probably be refined a little bit more, but I think we're at a good place. Before we start playing, I do have to thank some people for becoming members to this very channel recently. So Tom Bell, James H, Nick B, Scrage, Jacob H, Chris A, LG, Zach W, Jacob R, and Felipe M. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I do appreciate it. And if you want to be like these lovely individuals, click that join button. It's right next to the subscribe button. And if it's not there for you, there's a link in the description. Got it out that time. But yeah, you can become a member, get access to our member section of our Discord, highlighted user profiles in our Discord. Yeah, that's just the base tier. On top of all videos early until the end of August. And then 2 cyborg guides every single month for our middle tier on top of 50% off a donation deck. And then our top tier, you do get a free donation deck every single month on top of early access forever and all the previous benefits. So go check that stuff out. That is the member button or the join button next to the subscribe. I butchered that. But round 1's coming right up. Don't go anywhere. I think that this deck's going to be sweet. I'm really excited to play this. Like, I'm not even just saying that for this video. Like, I am genuinely excited to play this deck. I think it's going to be sweet. I hope we 5-0. I hope you're ready for some trashy artifacts, because that's what we're playing. It's round number 1. Our opponent has revealed the Luris. So you have to imagine that they're on an aggressive deck. We've opened up this hand that's like a pretty slow. I mean, I don't know how I feel about this. I think we're probably supposed to ship this hand. Into the No-Lander. Classic. Love you, Moto Shuffler. I think we're supposed to keep. Get rid of the Reservoir. Probably the... Yeah, probably the Mountain. So by getting rid of Mountain, you can, in theory, hardcast Citadel. Because this is a black, Analyte's black, only turns black. Oh, great. So we're facing Mill. There's probably 0 chance we suspend. This is going to be really difficult. When we're going to mill 6 here. Maybe they'll mill Citadel, and then we can just trash or charger it in. So no Citadel. We're going to want to suspend this Profane Tutor immediately. Jeez, another crap. I think we're supposed to just suspend Tutor. We can play Wishclaw next. I can't imagine that this is a good matchup, but yikes. It's 18 cards. Okay. They mill the Citadel. Okay. So these are going to unsuspend. Let's auto yield to this main tutor. Draw. I don't think I even want to fetch. But unfortunately, we're shuffling with the Profane Tutor next turn anyway, so I think I might as well. Yeah. Mill away. So both Citadels have been milled. We have 2 Trash or Treasures left. Okay. Still have 2 trash for treasures left. But we only have 10 cards. Like, what are we going to do? Even if we resolve trash or treasure, like, does it matter? I don't think we can actually win this. Do I have a land left? Okay, so let's cast this. Storm 1. Okay, so now Lotus Bloom, I would love to cast you. Alright, then Profane Tutor. Cast. So we're at 9 cards. Both of reservoirs are in here, which is kind of shocking. I think I just get the treasure treasure. Okay. I don't know if this really matters. Surgical. Ooh! We only have 1 land in the deck, so we can fetch it away whenever we would reveal it, like right now. Okay. So I'm going to activate the Wish Claw, because I think I just want to play the other reservoir. I just don't know if we're going to be able to get this from count. 7. Maybe we can't. Are we actually going to win this? I should probably sacrifice that for... Oh my. I'm not being slow rolled or something, right? Like, that's not possible. We'll name +2 mace, I guess. Oh, no. Did I just blast them? Wow, we won that. Wow, I can't believe that. There was also a turn 4. Pretty good. Wow. We probably want the EE, maybe the Gav Blast to kill crabs. Can't imagine that Spellbomb's very good here. Or the Needle. Welding Jar is probably not at its best here. I want Veil of Summers. A lot of cards. Probably board out the Prismark. Like, our opponent's going to put cards to our graveyard. I like that Izzet Charm can counter Surgicals. Maybe I don't board in the Blast. Try this. I can't believe we won that. I am honestly just in shock. I think we shipped this. Just a little too clunky, I think. We are on the draw, so if we hit land 2, it would be nice, but I don't know if that's something I can rely on. Let's try that. I don't know how good this is. So many crap. Okay, well, that's a little bit awkward. I think we just do that. Okay. 1 crab at a time. They milled Citadel, that's good for them. Watery Grave, yep. And Trash for Treasure. So counter coming off. A little awkward. Okay, so we have to shock. Probably a little bit weird that there's no basic swamp in this deck when we have 8 mana tutors. So now we only have 2 trash for treasures left. Crab's getting in there. 1 trash for treasure left. Okay. Them passing's good. Maybe I can use Veil Summer to stop a mill effect at some point. So suspend's coming. The next turn, both of these will unsuspend. So I could play explosives here, but if I do that, I don't have Veil Summer up if I want to suspend this. I think I'd rather suspend. Because I don't really want to blow explosives for 1 anyway, because I need to trash for treasure away this chromatic star. I think I need to let that happen. Didn't reveal the last trash for treasure, that's good. I think our opponent's probably sitting on a Drowning Lock. Actually, I'm having Mox Tantalite come off on suspend. I didn't actually need the chromatic star, but I still wanted to hold up Veil of Summer. So the Mox can be cast now. So I didn't need this for the trash for treasure, but I still wanted to hold this up. Cast this. Go get some trash. Take our draw. Wait. Please don't surgical me. Paying costs. How do you feel about Veil of Summer? Incoming Citadel. The Red Tinker. Alright, so we're going to go to 12. And I'm going to pay life because I want the draw of Chromatic Star. So we are going to loot and create a treasure token. Oh, that's a bummer. That actually hurt quite a bit. Oh, that was bad. So I think now we have to cycle the star. That hurt. Okay. All right, it's shaping up now. This draws a card. So I've used all 4 trash or treasure. I think I'm supposed to... I'm worried about not casting enough spells. Actually, that's a non-issue. It's fine. It's better to guarantee the reservoir, I think. Right, so we'll play reservoir here. Go to 3. Okay, so need some life there. We only have 5 cards left in our deck, which makes me a little bit nervous. Jeez. Guess we remove the land. All right, let's legend rule out a Bolas Citadel. Okay. Did we get this? 14. And then I can play E for 0. Hey, Trashy Storm is going to beat Mill. How crazy is that they never had a surgical either? Boom! Get reservoired. I love it. This deck is a blast. That's so much fun. Oh, wow. All right. Well, we got lucky. We round number 1. I hope you found this as much fun as I had playing it. I can't talk tonight, but this deck is such a blast. Stick around. Let's win at some more Magic. Welcome to round number 2. Our opponent has revealed a Lurrus of the Dream Den. Our hand doesn't have a Citadel or a way of getting Citadel, but I still think I'm going to keep this. It seems like a reasonable keep to me. We have a looting, we have a chromatic star to filter a little bit. Seems reasonable. Again? Mill? Come on. Gonna get crushed. Luckily, the Moxen are not legendary. I'm gonna get trapped here. You just wait. That pause was definitely a mind breach. Or an archive trap. Alright. No trap. Nice. Uh-oh. You want to find trash or treasure? Wonder why they don't... Okay. I'm not going to argue it. That's a good draw, I think. 8 tutors is really good in this deck. It's on 4 cards. Thanks. So they milled the Citadel. That's good for us. Okay, so not a fetch. I like gonna be for 1 trash or treasure down and 1 reservoir. Interesting that they're just passing. We drew the other. So next turn we have 5 mana coming off of suspend. We really want 8 mana next turn, so that way we can Citadel with Izzet Charm back up. I think I'm just going to pass here. And then maybe on their end step cycle this Chromatic Star. I mean, that's good for them. I feel like they're sitting on a Drown in the Lawn. I don't know if I can beat that, though. That was not a good draw. Okay. So we're going to cast Lotus Bloom here. Yes, so we really want an untap mana. Draw. Thank you, deck. Am I allowed to have Citadel? No is the answer. I think I want to hang on to the cookbook for Storm. We are getting pretty low on deck, and they're about to mill us for at least 12. Thanks. We have 3 cards. I wonder if we're just dead. We have 3 treasure treasures. There's 2 of them. We got it. All right. We lost game number 1 to mill. Definitely want these veils. And then the EE again. We don't really need cookbook for these cards. Then we brought out 2 commands. I think that's probably still correct. If you're looking to be a part of our combo community, it's simple. Open up the description down below. There's 7 lovely social media networks in there, but I would personally recommend the Discord channel. A lot of great conversation happening in there, a lot of great innovation. So if you're looking for advice on your combo brew, or just to talk to other like-minded individuals, I would strongly recommend joining our Discord. Okay, game number 2, we're on the play against Mill. I'm gonna keep. Okay, so I'm just gonna go Watery Grave, spend, Play Chromatic Star, and then pass the turn. Okay. Next turn, I'm probably just going to shock pass and hold up Is It Charm. Okay. That turns off Trash for Treasure. You can always hardcast it, no big deal. Don't have to shock now. I'm going to telegraph this Veil a little bit. So that way I can save some life. Ass. Yep. Can't do a whole lot about that. Panel light. Should be on suspending now. You would like to find a Bolas' Citadel. I think I'm just going to pass. Okay, that's not too bad. We do have EE. And now that I've seen Soul Guide Lantern, I might board in a Braid if there's a game 3. The Braid kills crabs, but it also kills the Soul Guides, and I think that's a pretty big game. That's annoying. What drawing crab? I'm going to cycle one of these Is It Charms. See if I can find something good. Sure if that's even worth casting. Might just discard that too as a charm. I think that's probably the right move. That was a good draw. Holy smoke. What you got? Nope. Okay. So we can fetch her that Fear of Archive trap because we've been veiled, so they can't actually target us. Blood Crypt seems... I just want to leave up the green mana. So they decided to draw a card instead of exiling our graveyard. That kind of makes sense. There's no Citadels in there. Those damn crabs. Alright, so my game plan right now is to... that was good. Alright, so now I think it's to just jam Reservoir. I'm going to veil that. We have one veil left in our deck. I mean, the trash draw was good. Because if we cast Citadel and they counter it, we can now just like trash it back on the following turn. Yikes. So they went after our green source, which is kind of interesting. They milled the final Veil of Summer. Oof. If they have a trap, we're actually dead here. We might be dead anyway. We might not have enough cards to storm for. Wow. What a turn. I don't know if I can win. Like, even if we draw a land here, I don't think we have enough. You need our opponent to just have, like, nothing and us to get really lucky here. 6 cards left. Okay. I don't think I can actually afford to loot here. Alright, Lotus Bloom's good. So if they didn't have another Soul Guide, I don't know. Let's just cast spells. I think I want to sack the Talisman. So I'm choosing the Lotus Bloom because I don't want them to sack the Soul Guide. I want them to think that, like, oh, I should save this because they're trying to get tricky. I've cast, so I can cast spell gain 8, gain 9. That's 17. 17 plus 25 is not enough. So if they Soul Guide here, actually just, yeah, I can't win. Oh no, I have the gain life trigger from that on the stack. So I think I'm going to lose because I'm gonna be 1 life short. So gain 8, gain 9. I'm gonna be at 49. I'm gonna lose by 1 life. Technically 2 life. That's a bummer. I don't know if I could have done anything differently here. Okay. They got us. 1-1. On the play for the 3rd match. Will we face Mill again? No. This seems like a keep for me. It just needs to find a way of getting Citadel to the graveyard. Let's play the star. I was thinking about not shocking, but then, or thinking about, yeah, thinking about shocking, and then I decided against it. Alright, so the opponent's playing a Wooded Foothills. What are you on? Anza? Is that what this is? I get Watery Grave into Claw. This deck could be playing that Entomb card. You could just like turn 2 Entomb and then turn 3 Trash for Treasure. I don't know if that's actually any better or not. I forget what it's called, but it's just like a 2-mana Entomb. Oh, also, I think that card might say non-legendary on it, right? Citadel's legendary, so I don't think that works. 4 mana here. Elf. Season Pyroman. Pretty strong start. Okay, so we're going to take 3 here, going to 13. Our life total is at risk. Okay. The other reservoir, not a good draw. So this is a little bit of a risky line. I'm going to go get Is It Charm. And then try to hit Citadel off it. It's possible that like the Prismari commands just like aren't the right card for this deck. Like those just seem like they might be too slow. Okay, so your land taps for infinite mana. Understood. What are you doing? I have no problem with Magus to the Moon. I just have to get lucky and hit Citadel. They have 4 more mana. Okay. Our life total is going to be very low. Citadel might not even be good enough anymore. They're Magus. That's fine. I'm just going to draw 2. I think we just lost. Maybe I'm supposed to draw a card with Sphere first, in case this next card is Citadel. I mean, we weren't going to win it, but misplay on my part. Might as well draw. Okay. Go to game 2. I don't know how I feel about that one. Let's try to be a little bit lower to the ground. Let's get rid of these commands. Probably don't need Needle or Spell Bomb. Is this a matchup where we want Sphinx? Don't know. Let's try that. Seems like Sphinx would be a really tough card for them. Sure. Someone's taking a mulligan. Alright, suspend. Suspend. Then we're going to shock and play stuff. Right. Things are in motion. We want to draw a land so that way we can suspend this tutor next. Ooh. Thank you. Okay. We're supposed to suspend. All of our cards will unsuspend on turn 4. So we have 4 mana coming off suspend, which means that we can also just get Citadel. And then don't worry about Trash for Treasure. And yeah, we can actually just like cast Citadel through the Trash for Treasure. Okay. Pass. If they tap out, we could in theory cookbook into Trash for Treasure to make it cheaper. But I don't think they're going to tap out with a relic. And now we're losing our Urza Saga. We're actually a mana short. No, we're not a mana short. I'm a liar. Okay. So this is 4. And then we just search up Citadel. Oh. I was a little bit worried about Force of Vigor there, but thankfully they didn't have. Casting the triple black spell through Magus of the Moon casually, no big deal. No big deal. So this was actually a really good draw for us. Sure. I'll probably sack Relic. I could have Gav blasted the elf, but I don't know. To like switch phase. I don't even know if that would work actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'd have to rewatch. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure if that actually checks. I think I need to activate. What should I get? You get like, is it term to filter? Or a welding jar? In case we have to pass that our Citadel doesn't get blown up. But I do have Treasure sitting in reserve, so I don't even know how much that matters. I'm just gonna get. Boo! Kill the elf. We are most likely losing our Citadel. Like I mentioned, we do have Trash for Treasure to get the Citadel back. They would need artifact destruction into graveyard removal here. Black Roof. Is that better than just blowing up Citadel? Yeah. Seems weird. And oh, poor Collector Roof going to die. I think I want to loot here. Where's the Saga being on top? Sort of stinks. Oh, why did I play that? That was dumb. It could have been a free spell for um, Reservoir. Stupid Bryant. Okay. I think I want to get a Reservoir. We're going to go to 3, which means we're dead to a Bolt. Assuming that I can't exit Charm. I can. So let's do this mode. Target player draws cards, make a treasure. We're going to 3. Play the land. Or land on. What do I want to sacrifice here? Is it actually just the cookbook? I could use cookbook to make a food. I have a bolt. Now would be a good time to use it. I have a really bad feeling that they just have it. That was an F6. That's good. Probably just get star here. I don't have any zeros in the deck right now. It's kind of hurting me. Because if we had zeros, I could have just gained a bunch of life. Alright, so we're going to go up to 11 and then be forced to pass the turn. I definitely got punished for playing the welding jar tour there. Okay. We do have a welding jar, so depends on what they're trying to cast here. Another oof? Sure. So that's going to shut off our welding jar. Okay, not nature. I can just play Island into Is It Charm to kill the oof at some point. I'm just going to do it now. Probably could have waited. Let's get back the cookbook, I guess. Sacrificing the... Actually, would it be better to cycle star? It might be. Yeah, but then I have to pay mana for it. Alright, let's just do this. We're drawing the Citadel so that way I don't have to cast it. Lovely. Draw 2, make a treasure. Okay. Should be able to win. And our opponent's had enough. So we've gotten this game. Really heavy on collector. Do I just want a braids? Just like make sure that I kill that little bugger. Alright, let's try this. We actually have a lot of outs to collector roof. 9. Not too bad. More than what we play in Legacy. Etchy. I don't think I can. Okay. I would really like to put Sphinx into play, so we just need to find like an Is It Charm. Is that too much of an ask? Just give me an Is It Charm. Not what I asked for. Thanks, deck. Winning with Sphinx in all formats. Come on, let's go. I really want to put Sphinx into play. So I guess like we could draw Cookbook. That would be a good draw. Not as good as Is It Charm, but they're just going full aggro. Charm. Yeah, I think I'm just going to shock suspend here. 2 turns is a long time, but we'll see if we can live that long. So that's at least 10 damage from this Bone Crusher. We're taking 5, going to 11. Ouch. Interesting. Okay. So the Profane Tutor is coming off suspend. We could get Cookbook, but we also need another mana. I might have to just abrade this giant. Because now we're dead to another bolt. I'm going to take 2 off the Bone Crusher, going to 6. And now we don't have a red mana for Trash or Treasure. 5. Geez. Do I have to rip here in order to stay alive? Well, step 1 is Cookbook. Then we have to draw exactly the basic mountain, I think. That's how this works. Oh, no, I can gain life using Cookbook. That's right. Oh, there you are, Charm. We can just gain 3 life immediately. Alright, so now we just have to draw a red source. Yikes. So that actually puts us dead next turn. Chalice of the Void. So the problem here is that even if I drew a red source for Trash for Treasure, the Chandra Plus kills me next turn. So instead, now what I need to do is draw a red source, kill the Blood Braid Elf, and gain life with the Cookbook. So we can go up to 5, and then we're dead to 4+2, which is... Alright, I mean, this loss is probably on me. I could have shocked early on to get a Steam Vents. It's a bummer. I feel like this one's probably my fault. Oh well, 1-2. Alright, round 4, we're on the draw. I think this hand's probably fine. Blackleaf Cliffs. Hollow one? Is that what we're facing here? I think I'm going to play the Crypt Tap to avoid some damage. Because playing the Star on curve doesn't really matter that much here. What are you doing, opponent? Oh, they discarded Hollow one. And Asmo. Ouch. Too bad you can't put Lotus into play off of Saga. That would just be bonkers. Saga specifically says spells that cost 0 or spells that cost 1. And Lotus is neither. So, unfortunately, that doesn't work. It looks like we're about to get punished for not playing that Spell Bomb on turn 1. Yikes. Sweet deck, though. This is really awesome. Like, can't take that away from them. Alright, so part of that's my fault. I could be at 9 if I had played, or I guess I'd be at 7 if I played the Spell Bomb. Oh well. Alright, so I probably want this Weather. I want the Crypts. Probably. Or the Needle. Probably don't need Welding Jar. Maybe Shave a Prismari Command. I don't know if that's actually right. Could shave like 1 Chrome Star. Let's try this out. Sure. I feel like this deck has some potential. It just needs to be solved. Like, we got to see how powerful it could be in round 1 with back-to-back turn 4s. Maybe turn 4 is just too slow for this format, though. I'm not sure. Depth again. Okay. I would like to draw Citadel and a land off this. I guess I could, if like this Adept gets really big, I could just kill the Adept. Underworld Cookbook. So they're probably going to discard a card here. Maybe not. Okay. We're going to go to 14. Once again, we are looking for land Citadel off this. Did not happen. Okay. Wonder if I should just kill an Adept and maybe the Cookbook. I could also just kill Adept, loot. That's probably better. I'm just gonna pass because I can wait to kill the Adept. Make them expend resources. Yep. No, there's no point in responding. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Another Cookbook. Okay. Sure. 12. I don't think we're actually going to win the aggro game against them. So I think what we want to do is deal 2 to a target and then draw 2, discard 2. So let's kill one of these. Loot. The tutor's just... We do get a Lotus Bloom this turn. There's another artifact for Saga. Well then. Talk about a lucky draw. Citadel! Not the best reveal. I'll take a weather. Gain 9. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Bloom. Now we have the tutor. I could just get Reservoir here. That's a big yikes. So this the Citadel will pay for itself, I guess. We'll gain 1 life off Citadel. Yeah. I mean, it gained a life, right? Keep the OG. Crasher Treasure. Maybe we just want the other Reservoir. Aw, land. That's a bummer. Okay, well, we're at 25. It's going to be tough for them to kill us from here. We can just have 6. They've been sitting on 4 cards all game and not discarding them to Cookbook, so they're probably fairly good. Now it's our opponent's time to cast. I think this deck is actually stronger than it looks. Ah, Ancient Grudge, that's brutal. Oh, that hurt. Okay. So now I'm drawing the land. I don't think it matters if which I do here. Do I want to get Spellbomb or Cookbook? Cookbook makes larger constructs. I think that's the game plan now. No, why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. There's no need to do it in my main. They're still without a green source for now. Their own saga. Okay. Yep. One card discarded, so now they can play Asmo. Or just the old-fashioned hollow one. You know that I'm not. So let's discard the turn here. I'm going to make another construct with Saga. Doesn't really matter what I draw here. I guess it's free to wait till I get that information. Okay. Tough. Pass. Okay. So I feel like we're ahead here. They can make their own construct right now, but I don't think that's actually a winning line for them. So what I can do is I can actually Izzet Charm to kill the Flameblade Adept. They're going to attack. I don't think I want to do that. Both these cards have more value than like a random like food token. We might as well make our constructs a little bit larger. Then we can just kill the Flame Blade, and now it puts our opponent in the spot. Okay, well, I tapped wrong. That's why that wasn't being cast. But it puts them in a spot where they have to double chump. Is this a Sphinx matchup? Probably is. Ancient Grudge, so maybe I want the jar. Could just be risking get rid of all of the crumb stuff. I don't think that's correct though. Maybe shape down on a couple tutors. I don't have all the answers. I'm just guessing. I would definitely play something like this again though. I just need more time to solve this deck. I think Citadel actually seems really powerful. I think what this deck needs is more ways of quickly getting Citadel to the graveyard. Like, I think maybe Prismari Command isn't what I want, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm good with it as a charm. I think Command might be too slow and clunky. So I think I want to replace the commands. If you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. I'm definitely open to trying things. All right, game 3 against Mono Red HollowVine HollowVine. This seems like a fine. Opponent has gone to 4 cards. All right, so they're thinking about these 4, which means they're probably keeping. Our game plan is going to be fetch a basic island, play star, suspend Mox. Turn 2, play Saga, and then start pumping out constructs until we can do something. All right, so there's a good chance they have Ancient Grudge if that's their start. Okay, I don't mind the Crypt draw. And okay, strong start. Okay, we're taking 2 here. The suspend counter comes off. Good draw. So do I want to kill the Adept or play Saga? I think it's just play Saga. Ooh, I can actually filter. That's good. That's nice. Let's just do that now, I think. That have 6 value. That ended up being a lot better than I. Okay, so it looks like we're in a Saga War. I mean, that's a good way of winning on a mold of 4. Okay. They're going to make a construct. So they're probably getting cookbook with this, if I had to guess. All right, I'm going to activate this now in case of Needle, but I don't think they would Needle Saga, but you never know. Here's Ancient Grudge. Oh, okay. Not going to block that. All right. This is coming off suspend. Good. Another artifact for a construct. I'm just going to do this now to be lazy. And then we get to search. Lotus Bloom, not an ideal draw. So I could get Cookbook, or I could get Jar. And Jar might actually help us win the Construct War. Yeah, I think I like that. So, I mean, I could suspend the Bloom. I don't know if the game's going to last that long. Maybe I'm better off keeping it for like looting. But also, so they're going to make a Saga and then search. So their creatures will be 7/7s now. So I think I wouldn't double block next turn anyway. I guess I could chump a Brutewalla. Yeah, it's probably not worth it. So they still have Cookbook as well. Maybe I messed up by getting Jar instead of a Cookbook. Because now I feel like I'm just really far behind. Yeah, I think I messed up. So I guess one thing I could do is if they swing out, I could double block a construct and then regenerate the one that they would deal lethal damage to. Alright, well now they're gonna name Jar probably. Yep, so that's gonna shut that line off. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I threw this game. I should have just gotten a Cookbook instead of the Jar. And I have to get super lucky in order to win. They're going to 10. Probably taking our treasure. I need a good rip here. I'm not even sure what the rip would be. But certainly not polluted delta. Not it either. Yeah, we lost to the Mulligan to 4. We lost the Saga War, partially because I think I messed up. Alright, 1-3. Alright, let's get this last one. We're on the play. I'd like to at least get our money back. This hand, I guess it technically puts Reservoir into play. It's lacking a tutor. If this hand had a tutor, we do have 8 tutors in the deck. Do we think we could draw a tutor before turn 4? Yeah, that seems like a reasonable ask if I'm being honest. So why don't we try this out? Uh-oh. That's scary. I don't know if we're going to have till turn 4. Okay, we've suspended a bunch of cards. I think our opponent's playing the Warp World deck. Well, it's not Warp World, but the Cascade Warp World. Okay. Just going to pass here. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, I've taken back everything I've ever said in life. I don't have no clue what they're playing. The Watery Grave. What? Guess we're taking 15. think we're supposed to actually just like wave this and pass. What is going on here? Okay, so it's just like what is it that deck used to be called? I can't think of it. It's from Onslaught. I'm old. I can picture the card art in my head too. I just can't think of the name of it. Explosive something. Draw. Another chrome. Black. If I can at least gain a little bit of life this turn with the reservoir. Like I said, a little bit of life, not a whole lot. I guess I could, in theory, trash or treasure just to gain more life. I think I want the filtering off that doesn't matter, so I should actually just like trash away the star for another star. Yeah, so at least now we have a decent amount of life. Reservoir did work. Let's just draw Citadel now. Let's cycle this, see if we can find anything good. Would I rather make a construct or would I rather gain 2 life? I don't think I can do both this. It is a land. We have 1 floating. Tap this, activate. Yeah, I can do both. There's no point in activating the saga now. Okay. They're one of them. Oh no, this is the flashback. Yeah. How about those apples? You deal me 3 this time. Okay. And to fall to 12. On their end step, let's make a construct. Not a spell. That's a little bit of a bummer. They just conceded? Really? I guess those cards didn't matter, but that seems weird. Probably want this Weather the Storm type card. A Braid kills that giant dragon, but I don't know if that's really what we want to be doing. Probably take those 2 out. One, a Braid can't hurt. Try it. Is it Charm does counterspell that giant like deal 15 spell. So that, well, this hand's also pretty solid. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. We're definitely suspending that. I think we just want to get Cookbook into play. Sure. I might discard a land to make a food at some point to gain life. Just so that way the explosion card isn't dealing as much. Yeah, like I'm probably going to discard a fetch. Dragon. I'm not gonna, I don't think. Maybe this deck should just be playing more cookbooks and like more citadels. I don't know. I'm just like not convinced that Prismari Command is the right card. Like it costs a bunch. It's slow. All right, if you have the explosive for 15, you have it for. Yep. Got it. They did it. They revealed the Emrakul. Yep. I knew it was a possibility. Maybe I just bring that thing in too. Yo. I don't know. Feeling a little defeated now. Like, I think this deck has potential. I just need to figure it out. Like, maybe you don't want the Saga package. I'm not sure. But I'm convinced that, like, there's probably a playable Treasure Citadel deck. Suspend. Like, Suspend cards and Citadel. Like, maybe we want to be an As Foretold deck with Citadel. Getting Steam Vent. Another. But if anyone's like looking to work on this deck with me, join the Discord. I'm happy to talk about possible ways to build this. Like, I do think that, like, maybe As Foretold, like, in between rounds, I actually started like messing around with the list. Like, it's in the middle, so it's not like a refined or anything. One. Yep. Okay. They have another one. I'm just no chance. All right, so we went 1-4, which is kind of bad. But I still think that this deck has some potential. So I was looking at As Foretold and then Wheel of Fate. Wheel of Fate's interesting because you can discard Citadel with it and then trash it back, but this is admittedly a slow line. Like, that's a turn 4 Citadel, which is the same as Prismari Command. So I was wondering, like, maybe you don't play Sagas, maybe you, but then, like, you're incentivized to run more cookbooks, but you also need artifacts to trash away. So I'm not sure how exactly to build this yet. If you have any ideas, please join the Discord and talk to me. I want to make this deck work because I think that this actually has a lot of potential, and I'm not just saying that. It's just Treasure's Tinker. Tinker's my favorite card in Vintage because I love tinkering into Citadel. That's why I was so thrilled to play this today. I'm open to ideas on how to make this better, so come talk to me. Keep storming, and I would like to cast Treasure again in Modern. Let's make it happen. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.